The natural focal point is a section of road ahead where we look when we are driving, and it is speed related. As we move up through the speed range, our eyes or sight line lift, and we look further and further ahead the faster we travel. So we are looking considerably further ahead at 70 miles an hour than we were travelling at 30 miles an hour. Conversely, as we reduce our speed, our sight line drops, so we are no longer looking where we were when we were travelling at 70 miles an hour. Generally speaking, where we look and the rise and fall of the sight line is a subconscious act. We don't actually think about it, we just do it. So, our natural focal point moves as we adjust our road speed. The big problem is our natural focal point is the minimum distance we should be looking ahead, and so it produces reactionary driving. By that I mean the driver reacts to hazards, often hurried and late, rather than anticipating and planning them. Driving using the natural focal point is not the best way to drive. It is like driving with the top half of the windscreen painted over, or driving with our eyes on dip. It also produces suddenly situations and surprises. This high visual horizon, there's no doubt about it, driving way beyond the natural focal point, produces a calmness, a serenity, unhurried decision making, and a style of driving which is also very, very smooth. I went out over many weeks to get footage that I could actually demonstrate this conscious effort that we need to have of looking up and what we can gain and the knowledge we can gain by seeing further down the road. Now that I've spoken about this natural focal point, I'd like to make it more clear as we're driving along the road exactly what I mean by this. It is a natural, inherent part of our makeup as a human being that we look at a certain spot relative to the speed. So the faster we go, our eyes will automatically look a little further ahead. So if I increase my speed now, with consideration that this one is passing, up towards 60 miles an hour, without anyone telling me, without me even being aware of it, my eyes have now lifted. So I'm looking further ahead now than I was just a short while ago. Now if I just reduce my speed just by easing back off the throttle, my speed across the ground reduces and automatically my eyes drop in their forward vision, so I'm looking closer. So this lift of the eyes, looking further ahead and closer to ourselves relative to our road speed, is a part of our human makeup. Now, the big problem with this is this natural focal point really isn't far enough in the distance to be looking when we're driving, because it actually tends to produce reactionary driving. And so we need to make this conscious effort of looking way beyond our natural focal point, and it's quite hard to do. It's quite tiring. And when you're not thinking about it, your eyes will they will drop back down again. So for example, now I'm looking down the near side of the cars in front and I can see the roundabout in the distance. And that's what I mean by high visual horizon. So I'm now looking at the furthest point, and the very first car I can see is braking. So it's this constant scanning forward and back. So as the road straightens, I look at the furthest point I can see. And if we look back here, we can see the bend is unfolding, it is opening. So I'm looking at the furthest point, not at the end of the bonnet. Now we can see the road goes off to the right. So I'm looking at the furthest point again. Look back at the junction, and again I'm following the road where it unfolds in front of me. Always this high visual horizon. Now if we look at the trees, that shows us the road is curving left, but I can't see the road surface. Don't know what's laying on the road surface, so I'm just taking a little care. Now I can see the whole of the road surface, and the road opens out. Again, I'm looking at the very furthest point I can see. So it is a 50 mile an hour area, and we're doing exactly 50. Right, in the distance, we've got a bus stop, we've got a 40 mile an hour sign, and then beyond the bus stop, the red cone has just moved, and beyond that, the road surface just drops out away. There's something else red there I can see under the wheels of the vehicle a moment ago. So it's this constant keeping our eyes way, way down the road in the distance. Now it goes off to the left, so I'm looking at the hedgerow up there, look at the back of the bend. It's opening out. It's unfolding as a dustbin. It's a London Transport bus, or one of the old ones, the old RMs. And then the road's disappearing. We're actually looking at the skyline at the moment, where the trees are silhouetted against the sky. Now I'm looking back down, we've got this yellow marker, whatever it is, as the road going round. Again, constantly looking at the furthest point, switching my eyes on the main beam. Another old London Transport bus, an RM or an RML. So we've got the warning sign. I can see traffic movement. It's a white vehicle just passing through, and there's a blue vehicle. So that's an entry in from the right-hand side. It's a roundabout, so I'm going to turn left, a mirror, signal to the one behind, and now bringing my speed down. Just keeping a wary eye, having the ability to stop, equally ready to give way. There's my gap, and out we go. Now the road's unfolding around to the right, so consider my position, which is closer to the curb, just to maximise my view around the bend. But as I've said before, not feeling uncomfortable with the curve, so I've got to keep looking at it. Now we've got a white vehicle braking in the distance, cluster of lampposts, got the sharp deviation board with traffic flowing through, brake lights are coming on. So now mirror, I'm now lifting off and just bringing the speed gently down with the brakes. Just treating the roundabout as though there's a red traffic light here. Now a little more brake so I don't get too close to the escort. There's our gap, and now in we go. So there's nobody about, so I can just straighten that off a little bit, rather than take myself in tight against the white little Toyota that was waiting to join. Again, I'm looking ahead, down the near side. Driver just deviated there in front. Okay, brake lights coming on in the distance, and I'm going to be turning right. So I'm looking at the red car, brake lights on the red car and on the white van. So mirror, I'm going to indicate to those behind that I'm going off, shutting off the power, covering the brake pedal, and now bringing the speed down nice and gently. Looking into the roundabout to see what's developing. Yes, there's my gap, and through we go. Change my right to my left with the near side view. Lift my vision up now, the motorcyclist, and now we can make a little progress. See, the motorcyclist there is obviously having a chat to and now doing a wheelie as well. Right, road narrows on the right. It's important to recognise whether it's right, left, or both sides. Brake lights on the white one now. So I'm looking at the fields in the distance. Way down the road there, we can see a cluster of lampposts with a roundabout. And see the white car in front's getting rather pushy on the red one. So I'm looking way in the furthest point I can see is a white vehicle just circuiting the roundabout up there. And that'll come into view very shortly. There it is, coming into view now. So mirror, I'm just going to lift off the throttle slightly. Don't want to be part of this. There's the motorcyclist doing wheelies coming down the other way. What an absolute idiot.